Moment of silence for the champions, for those who make going hard a lifestyle. Never wait for nothing, gotta get it right now. I'm in the spotlight when they turn the lights down. Only a champ swing the hardest in the 12th round. I love the fourth quarter, I love the ninth inning, I love game 7. Bring on the competition, cause in my heart, yeah, nobody do it better. Can't slow me down, won't stop me, never. I'm so Cassius Clay, I'm Tyson in his prime.
What's up, motherfuckers, and welcome back to the Pressure Podcast, a Monday night edition. Let's get it.
Give me a hell yeah! Memorial Day to everyone out there.
Happy Memorial Day. Shout out to all those who served us and all those who lost their lives for us to enjoy our freedom. Salutes, salutations, and many blessings. Thank you for what you did. It is Money Monday. We just finished watching the T-Wolves game. We got a lot to cover. We're going to mostly cover the N3A, the conference finals. We're going to recap and debate.
Yes, sir.
And then we're going to cover some of the QFL. So without further ado, we are live in our studio from Orlando, Florida. It's your boy King Cole.
Finish him!
Rated M for Millennials.
Y'all, man.
It is Money Monday. The headlines read, Can't Man is a Fugazi. Fugazi, for those who don't know, is a fake, a fraud, phony, counterfeit, not real. Can't Man, not Ant-Man, Can't Man. Let's leave it that way. The Pacers choke in Bodega's, we'll call it the Bodega Cat game. He had a game for the ages. Pacers had a collapse for the ages. It's a crazy series. Did you know that Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals is the most watched Eastern Conference Final game ever?
Oh, yeah?
Finish him!
I got some what the fuck shit for everybody for later. But let's start with Can't Man over here. This is what the fuck over here.
What the fuck?
What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? Thunder beat the T-Wolves 128 to 126. OKC leads the series 3-1. Campman Edwards and Julius no show in Game 4. Ant-Man had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists on 5 of 13 shooting, 1 of 7 from 3. Randall was any better. 5 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 of 7 from field goal. Just absolutely pathetic.
A no good loser like you.
When you see things like this is when and then when you saw what Cat did in Game 3, you're like, man, the Knicks definitely won this one because this is what I was fearing for. I had no idea Ant was a fraud, but I just thought Randall would be better than this. Randall usually showed up with at least 17 points. I mean, he didn't average the 24 that he did. He was, a dropper come playoff time, but 5 points, 6 points in 38 minutes the other day.
My problem with all this, though, is like, yeah, that was a bad game. This one wasn't a bad game. This one was him not being aggressive. 7 attempts, it's not enough. And 13 attempts, it's not enough. There's no way that you guys are going to win these games. You guys are the main players on the team. If Holmgren, Williams, and Shea go for double digits. There's no way. So that was my take on that. The bench was great for Minnesota, which is the reason why they stayed in the game. But OKC starters were just fantastic. They were fantastic. And that's the reason why they won this game. Every time that Minnesota had a chance, Williams would hit a big shot. Shea would hit a big shot. Holmgren would hit a big shot. My hats off to them, man. I really ain't got nothing else to say. Ant and Randall, they didn't show up. That's crazy that he only got 13 attempts. I seen him get up there on the podium and say about what they did wrong and all that stuff. I'm like, bro, let's be real. Yeah, they had 19 offensive rebounds, but y'all did too. So it wasn't like y'all weren't getting second chance points either, second chance attempts either. And my other problem is what keeps rearing its ugly head is the fucking turnovers. Stop turning the fucking ball over. You might have more possessions. You might have more attempts, but you're not doing that. And that's why you're down 3-1. I got nothing else to say. I mean, I feel like I picked the wrong team, and it's the things that I was worried about reared their ugly head. I should have went with OKC, but I just didn't think that OKC's big three would do what they're doing right now. I'm super impressed with OKC. OKC probably gonna take the whole thing.
Well, that was pretty interesting because that's not what I saw at all. The reason I see that they lost this game was because they pulled the Cavaliers on us. They have no closer. The Thunder don't have a closer either, but they were ahead. It was up to the T Wolves, and they almost came back and tied it, but much to no avail. Ant Man is a fraud. He can't close games, and he's just not a shooting guard yet. He's an elite player, but he's not a shooting guard. He needs to master his craft. He needs to master his position so that he can help his team win. Right now, he cannot shoot. He cannot shoot at will. It's something that it's wherever he starts feeling that rhythm, whenever he's on it, that's when he'll start firing off and he'll make some. But when he's off it, his offensive output is very, very, very weak. And it's time that I start realizing that he is nowhere near being a Super Saiyan. He hasn't even mastered his position yet in basketball. I think that's the main reason because they had many opportunities to win this game, to take the momentum and steal it away from the Thunder before they hit to Game 5. But this is looking like the Cavs. They met a team that can score with them, but they don't have a closer. And if the other team is ahead, you ain't gonna close out or let alone tie the game, which you did, and you still couldn't seal the deal at home. Ant Man is not a closer. Ant Man is zero clutch. Neither is SGA for that matter. He missed two mid-range jumpers, which are money to him usually, and he also missed a free throw down the stretch in clutch time. So it's just
I can't put that on him like that. Like that dude had 40 points, and
yeah.
Williams had 34, and Holmgren had 21. There's no way that I
if
can
you have 40
say
points,
they had bad games, or even try to attempt to say something wrong about what SGA did tonight. He was flawless, bro.
but I didn't say he had a bad game.
No. But you're saying he's not clutch, and I can't agree with that because 40 points to me, it doesn't have to be all in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
you don't have to just score in the fourth quarter to be a clutch player, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I'm not just going off of this game. This is several games now.
Yeah, but that narrative has changed in the last week or so because he's been making big shots.
He's been making big shots, but not clutch shots because they haven't had many clutch situations.
He did it in the Denver series, but in the other games, yeah, you're right. There was no need because the games were out of reach.
In the Denver series, I saw him breaking mid-range jumpers, which I told you about that. And you said those were not his shots, those were not his spots. Well, this time he hit his spots and he didn't get them. I'm trying to tell you, he's not a closer. He's not a closer. Neither is Campman Edwards, for that matter. And I think that's the reason why they lost his games because he couldn't close. DiVincenzo and SGA's cousin were the only reason that the Wolves' score was respected because Rudy Gobert wasn't doing anything. McDaniels had a few layups here and there, but most of the big shots and clutch shots came from DiVincenzo.
McDaniels had 22 points tonight. They can't say nothing about him either.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about in the clutch. In the clutch,
he hit a big three down the stretch.
I thought that was all Alexander. I saw McDaniels hit a few layups, and then
I
saw DiVincenzo hit
they
two
did
threes.
it was almost like a tip drill, and then he got in the corner. He made it. It was a 2-point game, and he made a couple of layups too late in the game. It just nobody else. The two stars didn't show up.
They didn't show up. No show.
And that's the difference. OKC stars, they showed up.
So, like the Cavs, I think this is over in 5. I think
this is over.
He's going
This is
to close it out
over. This is done.
after this next game coming up. So that's what I think. I think Randall, he's just not somebody you can depend on come playoff time. Sadly, it's just been proven over and over again. And Ant-Man is not a shooter. So you need to formulate an offense for him to be able to not have to shoot so much, but could slash to the basket like John Morant does.
I don't even care if you shoot 14 times. Just shoot 14 times. You have to try to attempt to be aggressive. If you're not aggressive, the defense, it's almost like they don't even game plan for you. They're just gonna be like, oh well, he's not doing anything, so this guy's doing something. So guess what? We're going to this guy because you're not trying to be aggressive. You're trying to pass the ball. More than likely, we're probably going to get you to turn the ball over because you're not being aggressive. So that's what with Randall. That's what I felt with that. And the same way I feel about Ant. Ant had in the first quarter, he was one of two. He took 2 shots in a game 4 where you needed him to be aggressive like he was in game 3.
Yeah, but the thing about
That
it
was
is,
terrible.
the thing about it is, it's come apparent to me this now that even if he is aggressive, he can't score at will. He can't turn it on at will.
But I'd rather him be aggressive. I'd rather him be more aggressive than just 13 attempts. There's no way you can. You're the star player of the team. When you see Jason Tatum do that shit, like not attempt the shots. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
I hear that. But the thing is, though, he needs to master shooting first. At least a mid range or something that he could go to all the time because they ain't gonna let you slash the basket at will all the time, bro. So you're gonna have to create other threats in your game that are consistent and reliable because right now you don't have it.
And then another thing is Finch. This is twice already that Finch just sat Randall down in the fourth quarter while Rudy Gobert's out there not doing a motherfucking thing. I'd rather have Randall out there. It's more floor spacing for me. It gives me a better attempt to at least be able to, space out the defense so I can get Anthony Edwards going maybe to the rim a little bit more. But if you're going to have Rudy Gobert in the middle of the fucking paint and he can't catch a lob and he doesn't get an offensive rebound or and every time he gets the ball, he's fumbling.
Or a block shot.
Jesus Christ, this guy's supposed to be defensive. This guy won defensive player of the year? They fooled me with that shit.
Twice in a row.
They fooled me with that shit.
Be cool, nigga.
So I think that obviously the series is over, so I got to change my pick. I think this is done by 5. Williams and Chet Homo Green had a good game on the road, so maybe they're starting to grow up. Maybe.
No, I think they just got hot. I really do just think they got hot, but it was a good time to get hot.
We will see if this is a sign of things to come or if it's just a sign a little too early for now.
It was a good time.
It looks like OKC. Congratulations, you just made the NBA Finals because I don't think that the T-Wolves have a chance to beat y'all in Game 5 unless you guys choke it off. Speaking of choking, let's get to the next topic. Did you know that the Indiana Pacers were 7-0 in clutch time this postseason until they met the New York Knicks last night? Now they're 7-1. Wah, 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 wah.
Be cool, nigga.
So, this is the choke sign that Halliburton was memed for all throughout the week, and it's chokes on you, bro. The boomerang came back to hit you. Y'all the ones that returned the favor. A 20-point blowout at home, and you let it slip away, and now the Knicks are alive again. My New York Knicks, go, go, go. They beat the Pacers 106-100 yesterday, and they still leads the series 2-1. Does New York 20-point comeback change your outlook now?
Not at all. Did you know Indiana was 5 for 25 from 3-point?
Yes.
Did you know you had 22 points off turnovers?
Yes.
The game was close. So let's see, 106, 100. I think maybe if they don't turn the ball over as much, they might get that dub. Halliburton did not shoot the ball bad, just needs to shoot more. Neymar was terrible. And Neesmith, I think they lost him, what was that, in the third or fourth quarter? Early fourth quarter? Something like that. It was between that time. That was big for them because I felt like he was stopping Brunson from getting to where he wanted to get to. And he was actually being effective at certain points. The reason why the Knicks, to me, won this game was because Anunoby kept them in this game. Anunoby hit timely big shots in this game for me. I remember you were saying, oh, Anunoby, but I need you to hit multiples of those.
It was just Anunoby. It was him and Bridges.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I thought Bridges kind of had it going for the most part in the game. He wasn't efficient,
No,
but
but
he was being
he
aggressive.
had the timely shots that we needed every once in a
Exactly.
while.
So then my thing was I was surprised about was the bench points. I think the bench also helped a lot. But we gotta give credit where credit is due. Carl Anthony Towns, this is your game, brother. You was amazing down the stretch. You were flawless. Great game. 24, 15 rebounds. Amazing. Brunson came in, do what he do. Towards the end of the games, of course, hit that floater to put them up. Of course he did that. And yeah, that was the outcome. Congratulations to the Knicks. I knew you guys weren't gonna get swept. That's insane to think. After beating the Celtics, the way y'all beat the Celtics, I didn't see y'all going out like that. So I expected one of these to be a win, and that's the one. But I think Indiana comes back harder next game.
Well, that's what everybody keeps saying. Indiana's going to come back harder, but can they? Because, yeah, Indiana shot 5 of 25 from 3, but you also said that the Knicks had how many points out of turnovers?
22.
Um, the same thing that you just said, that's the reason why they lost, is the same reason why we even are in a 2-1 hole, is because of turnovers. A case could be made that if it wasn't for turnovers, we up at 3-0 right now.
Could be.
So when I say does it change my outlook, no, I still got the Knicks in 7. Reason why is because I believe that the Knicks are going to win the next game at home, on the road, tie it up to Madison Square Garden for Game 5. Reason why is because I believe the Knicks have been playing better than the Indiana Pacers overall this playoffs. It's just that Indiana doesn't turn the ball over as much as we do this playoffs. But may I remind you, I told you when the game is close, we have the closer that they don't. They have Halliburton. They do have Halliburton, and he is a closer. He is a legitimate closer. But as you saw yesterday, we don't only have one. We have plenty. They don't have plenty. So if they keep the game close again for Game 4, Jalen Brunson's going to take over the game. Now, I hear a lot of people saying this is the second time the Knicks have come back from 20 when Jalen Brunson's on the bench. Cool, but that's only from 20. How about the other times that we were down 15 to Detroit and Jalen Brunson was there, and the one time we were down 20 to Boston and Jalen Brunson was there? This is in the Knicks' DNA, whether Jalen Brunson's on the floor or not. Now, I do like what the bench did. We had to because of foul trouble, not because we wanted to. But the bench responded with the best defense we've seen throughout this playoffs. Where has this defense been? We've seen it in the regular season, but come playoff time, we have not seen this kind of defense. Maybe from 2 or 3 players, but not team-wide defense. So that is a good sign for things to come as well. Not to mention that they have no answer for Karl Anthony Towns, like I said before I made my prediction. He had 20 points in the fourth quarter alone. The Pacers had 20 points total. And everybody's always saying, yeah, but how often are the Pacers going to shoot 5 of 25 from 3? Well, let me tell you something. We heard this all throughout the Pistons series. We heard this all throughout the Boston Celtics series. We're going to hear it all throughout the Pacers series. And let me tell you something. We heard it through the Cleveland series last year, Philadelphia series the year before, and Atlanta when Trae Young became a villain back in the day. It's what Tom Thibodeau does. But the thing is that we don't just leave anybody wide open. We leave a select few people wide open, people that we expect to shoot their percentage. We could live with that. What we can't live is with people getting easy baskets down in the paint. That I cannot do. So Tom Thibodeau, the defense that you employed on the fourth quarter, that's what I need. Fuck guarding the post. And, you know what I'm saying, I mean the three-point line. Just make sure nobody gets switched on, that it's a disadvantage. And if they want to shoot threes, let's let them. Let's let them. Because, yes, how often is the Pacers going to go 5 of 25 from 3? Probably not very often. But you know what, though? How often do people go 15 to 25 from 3 in the playoffs anyway? That's what people keep forgetting. The fact is that they're not going to shoot the regular season percentage at home in the playoffs, no matter what. That's why every single team, other than the Steph Curry Warriors, that lived and died by the 3, died eventually. They never won a championship. May I repeat that one more time? Those that live and die by the three don't win championships. I'm not saying the Pacers do, but I could live with them living and die by the three than getting them sliced into the basket at will because we're too worried about defending the perimeter. It got us this far. Don't change a thing. They're not going to hit all their shots. You know why? Because it's the playoffs. They're not going to hit all those shots. So you could say that the Knicks leave wide open shots and they're only getting lucky. Well, let me tell you something. Wide open threes don't drop in the playoffs as much as you think they do. I've seen it with Orlando. I've seen it with the Phoenix Suns. I've seen it with the Houston Rockets. I've seen it way too many times. We just saw it with the Boston Celtics. Now, I'm not saying that they can't get hot from three, but I'm sick and tired of people using that excuse against us. Like, you think they're going to average what they average in the regular season come playoff time. I haven't seen it once in the playoffs. What they average in the regular season, they probably have had 2 games in the playoffs thus far that even match it. You know why? Because come playoff time, people don't show up as they should. That's why when I had my tower rankings, that's how I had that in mind.
But one thing I'm noticing about Nembhard, he's just not being aggressive. It's not that he can't get a shot. He just doesn't take the shot. That was one guy I'm surprised about that because I feel like that's their X factor. I feel like if he's going, this team's going, and he's not going.
Yeah, but it's not up to him to go. He's not expected to go.
Yeah,
he's expected to go.
But he is.
Siakam, Turner, and
he is an aggressive guy though. And,
yes, but
I'm surprised that he's just not being that. He has not been that in any of the games this series.
Yes, but
he's made some big shots. Don't get me wrong. He's made some big shots, but it hasn't been like where, you know what I'm saying, where you've seen him go. You've seen him go in the playoffs.
Yeah,
especially last year.
But he ain't no. He's like a McBride kind of guy.
No, I think he's better than McBride. A little bit better than McBride.
No, what I mean by is that McBride is not. He's a role player.
No, yeah, I know, but McBride's aggressive. See what I mean?
Yeah, but he's a role player. He's only aggressive in his role.
Yeah, but Nembhard isn't being aggressive. He's just not being aggressive.
I think a lot of this is to do with the defense they put on him yesterday.
It could be the reason. But I still feel like he can get to his mid range. I feel like a lot of that shit he's overthinking. I've seen him do like where he gets by the guy and then for some reason he steps back with it. I'm like, why you did that? You was already in front of him. That made no sense to me. I see that all the time. I hate when I see that. Where I see somebody like pull the ball back like that. Almost like trying to trick the defense. Like, you got by him, bro.
Well,
the whole point is stuff.
Those kind of players are just not like that. That's why they do that. They're just not like that. That's why I don't expect things from people that I can't expect it from.
Nah, I see that from stars too. That's the crazy shit.
No, that's not.
But like I said, this NBA nowadays is just not. It's not the same at all, bro. Like when I see the NBA now, I just be like, it's good because I love watching it. It's entertaining, but it's just not like them dogs we used to have. I don't see too many of those anymore. It's very rare. It's very rare.
Yes. So my prediction could be wrong. If these guys stop turning the ball over, they could actually finish this in 6. But I don't see that happening. For some reason, they got into a turnover from. We weren't turning the ball over against Detroit. We weren't turning the ball over against you guys. I don't know what the hell happened. But I hope it gets fixed because when we don't turn the ball over.
Indiana is playing good defense, though. I mean, they only gave up 106 points to y'all. That's decent.
Yeah, but
that's decent for what we usually see. We usually see them give up like 120.
They play good defense in the first half, though. They allow 70 points in the second half.
Yeah. They didn't play as good, but I think a lot of that has to do with Neesmith going out. I think Neesmith is one of their best defenders, at least like as far as like getting around screens and stuff.
It was around a 9-point game when he went out. I don't know. All I know is that if we stop turning the ball over, if we just stop turning the ball over, this series is over. The Pacers can't hang with us as long as we don't turn the ball over. The only reason we're in this hole is because we fucking turned the ball over. And the reason we were in a hole last night was because we kept turning the ball over. But eventually we stopped. Let's just hope the trend continues.
I would say turnovers and they're not getting shit in transition. So with turnovers, obviously, sometimes you'll get points in transition while conceding points, and then you have offensive rebounds, which you guys get more than they do. They don't rebound the ball as well, so they're not able to run in transition when you guys miss.
Yeah, but the thing is that we weren't missing. That's why they didn't get to the
That's what I'm saying.
But when we were missing, look what they were doing.
Transition
Throwing alley-oops.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, what about us? When they weren't missing, we couldn't get no transition. We had 0 to their 16.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? That hot and cold shit.
It's a game of runs, sir.
It's that hot and cold shit pisses me off, but it's part of the game of basketball. But
everybody goes through it.
The Pacers made a mistake here. They should have went for the kill, and they didn't. I heard, you overheard Shaq yesterday saying that come game 3, if you smell blood in the water, you're supposed to go for the kill. You're not supposed to let them linger around. This is a mistake. The reason why it's a mistake is not just because you lost a game at home when you were up 2-0. It's because you were up 20. You were up 20, and you literally were trolling them a few days ago because you almost did the exact same thing. You were down 18. This is a classic series. This is going to be... I said it's an instant classic as soon as I saw the matchups. I'm like, oh, this is going to be an instant classic because this Knicks Pacers is always popcorn. I am proud of these two teams. I'm not a Pacer hater. I do hate the Pacers as a competitor, but I respect this organization. I respect this organization for all the memories that they give us competing against the Knicks, and they did it the right way. They never tried to hurt us. They never tried to cheat us. They were doing it fair and square. They were brutal. They were physical, but so were we. I'm not going to make excuses there. But unlike the Miami Heat trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, injure somebody on purpose, which is why if you see all the fights the Knicks used to get with, most of them with Miami. We got into a fight with the Bulls once and once with the Pacers, but for the most part, it was Miami because Miami's play a little dirty, and we don't play that shit. No, this is just popcorn. This is congratulations, NBA fans. Keep watching. I just hope that that the turnovers stop. The turnovers stop because if we turn the ball over.
And Brunson, stop getting in foul trouble, bro.
Yeah, but it's his style of play. It's all our style of play. They pick and choose when they let. Like if you saw 2 games ago.
But you know that. But you knowing that they're gonna call that more at home.
Yeah, but in game 2,
in a way, you know what I'm saying.
Game 2, they didn't call it, but game 1 they did call it a lot at home. Game 2 they didn't call it so much. Then game 3 they call it a lot. It's just like we what can we do? What can we do? What can we do?
What's that like 3? That's like 3 times he done been in foul trouble, right?
1 against Boston and 2 times this series. Yeah. But the thing is,
your hands up, bro.
The thing is that they keep trying to switch Turner or Siakam on Brunson because of the high advantage.
Yeah, he's just gotta let that go. It's just 2 points. It's just 2 points. I understand if like the game's close, but.
And they're trying to tire him out because if they tire him out, they expect him not to be able to produce as good on offense. But Tom Thibodeau fixed that. Tom Thibodeau fixed that, I think, and not on purpose by accident, but I think he fixed it. Finally, I think he knows what to do. Bring in Wright and McBride and Shamet, not fucking Campaign. Shamet plays defense and Shamet can shoot. Fuck Campaign. Fuck Campaign. Campaign, I don't ever see him making a shot anyway, so fuck him. So I got some what the fuck stats here for everybody.
What the fuck?
We already seen that one.
What the fuck?
The last team to blow a 2-0 lead was last year. The Knicks, we won 2-0 against the Pacers. They won 43. This year's the Indiana
2-0.
Pacers.
Was it on the road?
2-0. No.
It wasn't on the road?
No, we had home court advantage both times. And then look at this right here. This is called Bodega Cat earning his paycheck. Hopefully he continues doing that. These are the highest paid players in the conference finals. So you got Hallie getting 42 mil.
Deserved.
Siakam getting 42 mil.
Deserved.
Ant-Man getting 42 mil. Rudy getting 43.8 mil, so basically 44. And Cat getting 49.2 mil.
Is that 3 Timberwolves? Or former? Well, I guess you could say former.
2 T-Wolves and 2 Pacers and a Knick.
Used to be a T-Wolf too, so they had all that on the payroll?
Yes.
What the fuck?
So then now let's switch to the QFL one time. So this is
You can see why Minnesota fans were so pissed last year.
So according to CBS, these are the playoff predictions record-wise, not seed-wise. They did more.
Here we go.
So here we go
Come to
with
camp. Let me get ready to take it off.
NFC.
Be cool, nigga.
They got your Philadelphia
damn.
Eagles going 14-3,
don't know about that.
Rams
Too
going 12-5, Bucks going 12-5, Lions 11-6, Falcons 11-6, Washington 11-6, and Cowboys 10-7. I think that's too
The
high for the Rams
Rams?
and the Buccaneers.
Why does Detroit go down?
More competition, maybe.
Yeah, but if you look at all these teams, would you put Detroit second or third?
I would put Detroit and Washington over Rams and Buccaneers.
That's what I'm saying.
I would have Rams and Buccaneers at 11 wins, and then
And Washington, that's
Washington and Detroit at 12 wins.
I wouldn't say disrespectful because they are going to be the number 2 seed if that's the case. 14-3 will be 14-3, so we'll win the division, and Washington would have to be down there.
Yep.
But I don't know about the Cowboys being 10-7.
But I seriously doubt the Green Bay Packers are going to miss the playoffs.
That's why I say the Cowboys. I don't know about them being 10-7.
Who else?
That's kind of crazy. They're always trying to put the Cowboys in there. Cowboys always get in there somehow.
Yeah, if Dak's healthy, they'll make the playoffs, but only to get laughed at.
I don't think so. I think people we don't even know who this coach is.
He's Schottenheimer. His dad used to coach the Chargers way back in the day.
Yeah, but we got to find out who he is. I'm sure they're implementing a whole new offense, whole new defense. I don't know. Rome ain't built in a day. Sorry.
Well, the only reason they were bad is because they didn't have Dak. As long as they have Dak, they'll be respectable. They'll only be against, what's it called? What did Bruce Hardy call it? Tomato cans? Against the bad teams. And luckily for them, there's mostly bad teams with their season schedule.
But sometimes they don't even beat tomato cans.
Yeah, but they mostly often do. So that 10 is all the mostly tomato cans, and then that 7 is all the losses to the league teams. And they'll still make the playoffs. It's actually realistic.
So that's 2 losses. That's 2 losses to the Commanders, 2 losses to the Eagles.
Nah, they won't lose to the Commanders.
Yeah, they will.
Nah,
Yeah, they will.
they won't lose to the
Mark my words, guys. Mark my words. They'll lose 2 games to. I think people sleeping on Washington. I don't know what.
Well, I gotta see the schedule to see how early do they play him without Dak, because I don't think Dak's gonna be there at the beginning of the season. But one team that I do, 2 teams that I'm shocked is not
That's
there
not in
is
there.
Green Bay and 49ers.
Yeah, that was a little bit for me too. San Francisco. But who you take out though? Who would you take out? Because it would have to be
Falcons.
Atlanta.
The Falcons and the Cowboys. Easy.
So Green Bay, San Francisco. What? Green Bay 5 or Green Bay 7?
Yeah, probably 5.
And then San Francisco 7.
Actually, nah, I'll say 7. San Francisco 5.
Yeah, I'll go with that too.
Let's get to the AFC.
Oh, they got the Bills.
They got the Bills 14-3 because they have the easiest schedule in the world. We're 13-4.
Is that a shot?
The Chargers are 11-6. Texans 10-7. Bengals 12-5. In your dreams. The Broncos 11-6 and Kansas City 10-7. No, I think you should switch.
Yo,
Kansas
why
City.
are they doing Kansas City so dirty?
For real, I've never seen Kansas City so underdogs in my life. I don't remember this era.
God damn, we became
Alex Smith
Kansas.
coaching?
We became Kansas City out this motherfucker. They got us winning 14 games.
I would switch Kansas City and Cincinnati
This is
easily.
crazy.
I would guess Cincinnati goes 10-7. Kansas City would go like 12-5.
I don't even think the Broncos are going to be that good. I think they're going to be much improved, but 11.
I think 10-7, 11-6 for the Texans is reasonable. I think 11-6 is too much for the Chargers, and they're not going to win the division.
Yeah, the Chargers.
They're not winning that division, man.
Wow. I can see the Texans.
But the Bengals 12-5.
But CJ Stroud, he better fucking.
With what O-line do the Bengals go 12-5?
That's what I'm saying.
With what quarterback do the Chargers win the AFC West? With Herb?
Not Herb.
Not Herbert, Mister 1-11 in 3 or less point games. Mister, I only throw 3 interceptions in the season, but then in my playoff game, I'm gonna throw 3. Motherfucker.
You know why though? Because he don't even attempt to throw touchdowns. He had 20 last year. He had 20 touchdowns last year.
He's not a bust, but he ain't elite, and you got to be elite to win in that conference and in that division.
I would take Dak over him. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. And I'm a Cowboys hater.
I would love to see the Kansas City go 10-7, but that's not realistic to me.
Damn, Kansas City goes 10-7. They down bad.
Yeah. The Super
Don't know
Saiyans in
about
the
that
league
one.
there. I thought I still had the NFL, the QFL Super Saiyans, but nope, I don't. I'm gonna have to bring that up for the next show.
Shit, Cat keep playing like that. He might start rising up that Super Saiyan talk. I know it's early, but nah, fuck that, bro. If he's performing in the playoffs the way he's playing right now, bro.
He could be an android.
Nah, don't do him like that.
He could be an android. He could be the girl.
That's
one.
crazy because he played like.
He could be the girl one.
So you're specifically
android.
putting his performance only based off of the matchup.
No. The thing is, he has not shown that he has Saiyan warrior blood.
The consistency is what you mean.
He's not a Saiyan warrior.
No, but I'm saying if he continues what he's doing
He could
in
be,
this series,
he could be one of the Z fighters, but he ain't no Saiyan.
Never. He'll never get up there.
If he had a tail when he was born, we'd know about it right now, okay? If he looks at the full moon and turns into a big, giant King Kong ass ape, we would have seen it by now, okay?
Okay, so now a warrior then. What would you say? Just an android. That's it.
He could be an android or a Z fighter, one of those guys. He could be Yamcha. He could be one of those guys, but he ain't no Saiyan.
So what is he right now? If you had to put him like
The girl, android. Android 18, the one that Krillin fucks.
Finish him.
I tried to give you your flowers, Cat. My bad, bro.
She's a strong ass character. I don't give a fuck what you say. She tore up fucking Vegeta.
No, I know. I'm just saying. The way you said that Krillin fucks, I was like, damn. He bought it for real, huh?
He's a little girlish. But they got Bati.
Even that pass. Did you see that pass?
Yeah. He's a little flamboyant. But he's Dominican, so I'll root for you.
What was it that you said in the chat? You said he would stick his tongue out.
Say it again?
You said in the chat you said he would stick his tongue out while Halliburton is doing
Oh
the
yeah.
choke.
Look at him. Everywhere you look, he's doing something zesty. He would have his tongue out.
Oh shit.
Well, they got Bati over there. But no, I pray he can show up for another monster game tomorrow. Him and Brunson.
He said I need this.
Josh Hart does what he does. Brooke McBride.
I think he'll carry over, cause he had such a great game in the fourth quarter. Like when people have games like that in the fourth quarter, that usually boosts their confidence even more. So just don't do nothing stupid, cause you know that's the thing with him. Sometimes he get a little too confident, and he start wanting to do like step back threes and all this shit. It's like, bro, just keep it the way you was keeping it in the fourth quarter. You keep it like that, then you're good.
What I want is another offensive output like we had game 1, but without the turnovers.
But that was because of them running too, though. That's what I'm saying.
What?
So you gotta pick. Do you want a high score or a low score?
Game 1 was a high score because we
But
were making shots.
they was going in transition too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but our shots were falling.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying they were going in transition as well. So
Yeah, but
you guys were being able to
transition's always going to be there.
locate.
Our shot's not always going to be there. That's the problem. Transition's always going to be there. That's not the issue. The issue is our shots
I
falling.
think this is how y'all win right here. The way y'all won this game. I'm not saying you want to be down 20 points, but I'm saying with this defense, the way y'all played in the second half, this is how y'all win.
Yeah, I know, but even with the defense,
Even if it's gritty, it don't matter. Who cares? Like this is
But-
how y'all win. This
yeah,
is how y'all won all season and in the playoffs.
yeah, but we shot
In the
way,
clutch.
but we shot way better than that. We can shoot better than that, and we've shot way better than that. Ever since the Boston series, we haven't been shooting very good.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, what the fuck? You guys took it personal with us? Fuck. That is true. I did see that. And I noticed that in this game. That's what I was like. I was like, I can't believe this shit. I can't believe James Bruce is playing like this right now. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I'm talking about this game. This game right here.
Brunson had 24 points. I don't know what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good shooting night is what I'm saying. I'm not saying he didn't have a good night. I'm saying for what he does.
What was he?
It was like 6 of 19 or something like that. It wasn't a good shooting night, but he didn't need it. That's why you have your teammates, man. You can't do it all. You can't do it all the time.
6 of 18. That's 40%. Well, the problem was he went 1-5 from 3-pointers. 3-pointers he shot. He followed.
It hasn't fallen all series, all playoffs really, to be honest.
It fell against Detroit.
Yeah, that's it. In Boston series, he wasn't shooting it that great.
Nobody was shooting good against Boston, and nobody's shooting against Indiana except for Game 1.
OG was shooting great against Boston, actually. OG and Mikel. Them niggas was
No, Mikel showed up in the fourth quarter.
in every fourth quarter.
But I'm talking about like
In every fourth quarter. That wasn't just one. That was like all
throughout the
four.
games. He just doesn't shoot
All
very
five.
good. Nobody really is though.
Even the game when we blew you guys out at home. That game, he was still trying to like make something happen, and he had it going too. I was like, man, not again. Please don't tell me this shit about to happen again.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, hats out to everybody from the Knicks.
Russell was 6 of 6.
Good shit.
No, 6 points. He was 1 of 1 from the field goal and 4 of 4 from free throw
What, the
to
fourth?
close the game. The game was tied. He came in with a little floater over Neymar, and then he sealed the deal with the free throws. And that's why I just want the game to be close at the end of the fourth quarter, because we got him. Let's see what they got.
Yeah,
so
everybody on the Knicks needs to thank their heavy stars. They got Towns in this game, boy. That was an incredible fourth quarter.
Instead of Julius Randle.
Fatality.
Well, we're gonna sign out here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We are the Pressure Podcast, which means to perform, react, and dual using strategies in sports under rigorous environments, motherfucker.
Give me a hell yeah!
Podcast reviewer has saved. If you have a webcam, we will always send you a link so you can put you on a little screen right here, hop on the mic, and talk your shit.
Finish him!
We will be back on Thursday to recap the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals. Till then, motherfuckers, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear your takes.
Appreciate the